Hello and welcome back to another Campfire Stories with Sasquatch. Tonight, I'm going to talk about the creature in the soybean field. Now, some of you guys may or may not know what soybeans look like. They're a green plant. I've seen soybeans. I'm 6'4". I've seen soybeans that come up to my waist. Soybean plants, big, nice, healthy green plants. They're also called edamame. Uh, I'm not a fan. But we eat soybeans in a lot of things. We even use soybean oil to cook with. So soybeans are important. When I was about 12 years old, I didn't think anything about fields. I didn't realize that we ate what was in the fields and so on and so forth. So playing outside in the woods and in the local field was what I did. So I one evening after school, got off the school bus. It was close to Halloween. It was also hunting season. I jumped off the bus, ran into the house, threw my book bag down, grabbed a couple of things, and went out on my motorcycle. I had a little Honda dirt bike. I bet I put 100,000 miles on that thing. I really loved it. I enjoyed riding that little bike. I think I rebuilt the motor twice on it. Did it myself. At 14, I was a pretty decent mechanic, believe it or not. So anyway, jumped on my dirt bike, headed off in the woods, rode out to this field. It seemed like it was 5 miles from the house, but looking back on it now, it probably wasn't. 300 yards. So anyway, I rode out to the edge of the field, and I would never ride in the farmer's field. I'd always ride around the edge. See, if you went out and messed up his field, they wouldn't let you come back. They'd tell you to get out of there and never come back. But if you went out there and respected his property, man didn't mind you being out there. So where this field was, from my house, I'd take the path and go back to the field, and I would come out about midway the field. So if I went left, I would wind up on the public road. But there was some pretty thick briars and stuff that direction. And if I went right, I would wind up on a dirt path, and there were a couple of graves on that path. It, back years ago, when you had a family member die, you buried them on the farm. As a matter of fact, the Edwards farm, we just buried my uncle last year. When he died, he's buried on the farm. So it's not unusual when you're out in the woods, you may run into a grave. So there was a couple of graves back there, and I'll admit I was a little creeped out by them, but it was what it was. So I rode my dirt bike down to the field, and got to the edge of the field, and I turned right, headed towards the dirt paths. There were several dirt paths. They just didn't lead to the graves. There were several dirt paths back there. And there was an old trash pile back there that had a lot of glass bottles in it, old medicine bottles and stuff. Those things are collectibles today, and I thought they were pretty back then. So I would dig around and find these bottles. That's what I was headed to do. I was riding my dirt bike down there, and I was going to go try and find me a couple of neat-looking bottles. So I'm riding along. I'm listening to old Honda purr, right? And I look over to my left, and something's in the soybean field. I don't know what it is, but I realize that it's making the soybeans fall over. So, and it was coming straight towards me. 12-year-old me, I'm thinking, is that a bear? Is it a monster? Is it an alligator? Is it Bigfoot? I have no idea what it is. I just know that it's knocking the soybeans over as it's running. So I cranked on that gas on that Honda. I had it wide open, going just as fast as I could. And the creature in the soybean field was still coming towards me. As I accelerated away from it, it turned and followed me. It's coming straight at me. And I can hear the ruckus in the field as I'm driving. I can hear it over the sound of the motorcycle. I'm thinking, what is this in this field? It's going to get me for sure. I'm a goner. So I got down to the dirt road. I stopped and I looked back, and I could see the soybeans being disturbed as this creature made its way through the field. I made a fatal mistake. I turned my motorcycle off as I was watching. I immediately flipped the switch back on, hit the kickstart. It just, nothing. I kicked and kicked and kicked, and the engine just refused to start. I looked back. The creature was getting closer. The sound of the soybeans rustling was getting much louder. My heart was beating so fast. I had no idea what I was going to do. I kicked that motorcycle, kicked that kickstart, kicked that kickstart. Nothing. It wouldn't start. The creature's getting closer and closer and louder and louder. I can hear scratching on the ground. It's getting so close. I did a quick check of my motorcycle. I pulled the choke up. I kicked it again. It didn't fire. Just wasn't going to do anything for me. I could hear the scratching. The leaves were almost at me where they were opening up. I jumped off the motorcycle and got ready to run for my life. I knew whatever this was going to be on me in no time. And just as I started to run, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it as it came out of the soybean field. It was covered in fur, had 4 legs, was low to the ground, and it started running straight at me. And that's when I realized it was my dog. He had followed me to the field. He wanted to play with me. He was running along beside my motorcycle. It scared me to death. So I stood there in the edge of the field, played with my dog. We had a great time. I found a stick and threw it. He brought it back to me. I went back over to the motorcycle, looked at it. The run switch on the motorcycle, the center was run. If you turned it left, it was off. If you turned it right, it was off. But if you had it in the center, it was run. I had, in my excitement, I had flipped it all the way to the right. So it was in the off position. I put it in the center position. I kicked the kickstart one time. The engine fired right up. And I started down the dirt path, riding not too fast. I don't think I even took it out of 3rd gear. I was just kind of putting along. And with my dog prancing along beside me with a stick in his hand. So that's the story of the creature in the soybean field. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll come back for the next one. This is Sasquatch. Have a restful evening. Good night.